Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeo. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here that any other time we have a man on board, the man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman is definitely looking for a man. But because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. And our guest on today's show is in the United States of America. He is in Michigan, and he is very excited because of what we are doing, and he hopes that he can get a match on the show. And the man on today's show is 56 years old. Why is a 56-year-old man single? To start with, I told you that on this show, all things are possible. Regardless of age, irrespective of where you come from, we do not discriminate against, because this is a show for singles. And everyone who is single, irrespective of which part of the world they come from, they have a space. And he has been watching our show. He's been calling me constantly. Tulijaribu ya ile ya chini ya maji ikashindikana, akaniambia sasa it is better to air his video. He is ready to produce family members to back the fact that he is single. He's ready to peana simu ya mama yake, because part of our background check is to look at some of the family members, friends and family that can back the fact that one is single, because we do not want a situation whereby we are connecting somebody with somebody's wife, with somebody's husband. This is a very serious show, and we believe that everyone who is looking for an opportunity will get a chance at one point in time. So mgeni wetu leo anaitwa Muteti. Muteti comes from Michigan, but he is a Kenyan by birth, and he got married at 56. He has lived in the US for about 13 years. But you could be asking yourself, why is a 56-year-old man single? Why is he single again, yet he was married? One, Muteti alitoka hapa like 13 years ago. 3 years later, came for his family, that is wife and the kids. Walienda huko na wakaongeza mwingine mmoja. Unfortunately, he was telling me that things are not the way they look. Things are not always the way they look, because maybe looking and judging from a standpoint of desire, one could be like, oh, the family has gone to the US, everyone is happy in the village, but they do not know the wrangles, the kind of culture shock that meets people when they go to a foreign land. For example, when he went there, he realized that laws are different. Children and women are protected under the US Constitution to a point that whether they provoke you or not, hata wakuchokoze namna gani, you cannot point a finger on them, because again, you will be on the wrong side of the law, and you don't want to spend the rest of your life in jail. So what happened is that the good wife, alileta after 3 years of investment, after 3 years za kujipiganisha huko juu chini, when they went there, all hell broke loose, because again, when the wife went there, got and engaged herself with another group ambayo ilimfunza sheria za huko, ya kwamba here hatuambuyangwi huku, hatupangwingwi huku, sisi ndio usema. And within a very short time, the marriage was on the rocks. Within a very short period of time, Muteti could not put or he couldn't cope with the situation. One, umezoea kuita mtu, maybe you in Kenya, the institution of marriage in Kenya and in other parts of Africa, the man is the head of the family, and it also happens in other parts of the world. But in Africa, it is more detailed, to a point that the man receives the kind of honor that is not likely to receive from a different part of the world. For example, if a man is calling, you have to listen. If a man is giving orders, you have to follow. If the father has said this and that, this becomes the gospel truth, and that becomes a constitution. However, in the US, you will reason together. Whether you're speaking to children or your mother, you're going to reason together. And we realized there is a lot of disrespect. There is a lot of back and forth. There is a kind of push and pull that cannot be in any way healthy for marriage. And the one that nailed the last nail, or the one that pressed the last nail on the coffin, is when he found his wife cheating. He realized that the wife had entangled herself. The wife had entangled herself with an affair, and she was not even afraid about it, because one, you cannot beat her up. You beat her up, and then you're going to jail. You question her, she tells you it's her body. This is after 2 years. So On the third year, the man could not even fathom that this is the woman I married, so humble. We raised children together, 2 young children together. Tumepata mwingine, huyu mwingine hata hawezi kumbuka kama kuna siku hata mmoja they ever even had a good conversation, because it was always wrangles. The wife became disrespectful, because when you go to a foreign place, you realize that you have to adapt. I mean, you have to adapt to the situations. For example, everyone is working. When you go to the US, hakuna mtu anakaa kwa nyumba ati mwingine aende akatafute. Hapana, all of you are going to work. If you take 2 jobs a day, the other person can still take 2 jobs a day, and so that you can make the ends meet, so that you can pay bills. And sometimes you have to enroll for minimum wage, and when you enroll for the minimum wage, all of you are working tirelessly, maybe to realize the American dream. But this was not the American dream for him, because all hell broke loose and his family was scattered. On the third year, wakaifanya it's like an official divorce. Everyone parted their ways, and you can imagine. So I want you to take like 3 years since he left, another 2 years of wrangles, another 1 year. So you can imagine all the number of years he has been single. So he has been single, and he told me that it is not very easy, especially when you are in a foreign land. It is not easy to get into another relationship. For example, if you find a man, that man maybe has brought a woman from Kenya. In most cases, in most times of than not, mwenye ameleta ni wife yake. Hata wakikosana, wanakosananga kama kuna mtu mwingine ambaye the wife ameona ama the husband ameona. Tunaelewana? So what happens is that almost everyone is taken, and whoever is not taken, and then you cannot be so pessimistic to a point that wewe kazi yako ni kungoja watu wenye wanakosana uchukue mmoja, and not everyone is your taste. Najua sahi, even to the singles who are watching here, you are not desperate. It is not that you are desperate, it is that you have not found the kind of person you're looking for. Otherwise, I know there are people who are approaching you, but you're not interested because maybe they are not your type. Others, hata ukipatiwa sahi na uko single, utasema acha tu, acha ikae, let me just remain like that. You get the point. So the point is, he has not gotten a match ever since. And to add salt to injury, the wife moved on long time ago, got married by somebody else, and they got the wheels of life running. And now the man is here, left alone. He's 56. His name is Moteti, all the way from Timboroa. Born and raised in Timboroa, but now living in the US. But this is what he told me. He cannot repeat the same mistake, because once bitten, twice shy. So yeye ametengeneza pesa, anatengeneza kazi zake, and what he has decided to do is to invest in Kenya. So he cannot see his future in the US. He is not seeing his future in the United States. So this is the plan. He told me he's been buying properties and he's been investing here. He's been building a home here, because he wants that by the time maybe he hits 60, or by the time he gets a good match, he can call it quits. And he had not established a business. He was still an employee, working very hard, day and night, beating the clock to ensure that everything is running. And he told me he has healed now. It has not been easy bringing somebody to the US only to realize that, oh, I have been played. Oh, I have been duped. Oh, it was never that serious to the other person. So it's unfortunate that some of these things happen. Some of these betrayals are happening in real time. And I hope that Moteti can get a woman. He is looking for a woman who is not interested in getting another baby. Because again, remember, he is 56. In 4 years, in fact, he's turning 57. I'll say he's 57. Because he's turning 57 in October. If he's turning 57 in October, that means in the next 3 years, the man will be hitting 60. He doesn't want to, maybe those 3 years, maybe amepata mtoto, akiwa 60 ndio anapeleka mtoto kindergarten, and that one looks like a grandfather. You get the point. So he has now 3 children. Wawili ni wakubwa kabisa. Huyo mwingine mmoja ni mdogo, na wote wanaishi na wawili wanajikalisha. Mmoja anaishi na mama yake, they share custody. Huyu mdogo ndio wanashare custody. Akifikisha 18 years, they call it quits, but they don't meet. He just pays a few bills. You know how shared custody looks like. Like you can just decide I'll be paying school fees directly to the school, and if the child wants to come and visit daddy, the child can come, knows the address and all that. So Muteti is very hopeful that he will get a woman here, and he insisted that he wants an African woman who is ready, specifically Kenyan, who is ready to settle in Kenya. Otherwise mambo ya kwenda US, anasema once bitten twice shy, because brought a very innocent woman, and then when the woman got there mambo ikaharibika. Wakati alienda pale akakuta hakuna heshima tena, anaitana kama mara 20, nobody is responding. Even your own children, they are not even responding. They have been recruited into a hatred you cannot fathom. They have been recruited into demonizing you to a point that they see you as maybe useless, or so to speak. And now Muteti is very optimistic that on the show he will get a woman. And these days, you know guys, that our show is growing big, and when people say please share my email instead of my number, sometimes I get to understand what they mean. For example, when people like you, and let's say 1,000 people have liked you, if 1,000 people have liked you and they want to call your phone, I am telling you, you cannot work that day. Once they get that number, kazi nayo utafanya, simu zitakuwa zikiingia everyone wants your attention. So what happens when they give email, they respond to the ones they like, they respond to the ones. So hii inakuanga kama ni kama tu, let's say the favor of God is upon you, bahati tu. And by the way, some people wanasemanga ati hakuna kitu kama bahati. You need to be lucky. If you're not lucky in this world, if you don't have that favor, you can suffer a lot. You can really suffer. I'm telling you, if you don't have that favor, you can really suffer. And one of the prayers I've been praying as well is, God, please release your favor upon me. Kindly release your favor. Even Jesus in the book of Luke, and Jesus grew in favor with God and men. in favor with God and men. So you get favor with God, then you get favor with men, and then you make it in this world. And I hope that everyone who is watching has the same prayer, because sometimes the prayers that we keep on asking, the prayers we keep on committing to God, sometimes can be answered by one person. Sawa sawa. I am wishing every single person the very best of luck. I am hoping that every single person watching this video will get a match sooner than later. And to those who are in relationships, I hope that your relationships will work. If you're into a relationship, kindly treasure it. If you find somebody who believes that you are a big deal, if you find somebody that loves you genuinely from their heart, kindly treasure that person. It is absolutely important for you to take them as a big deal as well, because we don't have so many people like that in one's lifetime. So to every single, we wish you well. And by the way guys, if you're in Mombasa, I'll be coming to Saini asubuhi, Saini kitu saa moja hapa. I'll be in Mombasa in the next few hours, and I hope I'll get to eat my lunch in Mombasa. And kama uko Coast, please let me know. Maybe I can say hi when I get there. Guys, if you've watched this video to this minute, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. See you there, and God bless. Bye. The contacts of my guest will be on my Facebook stories at Jenga Njel. So bye bye, until next time. This is Jenga Njel. Bye.